Ito ang programang Bawal ang Pikon. Get it straight with Daniel Razon. Kasama po natin si retired General Jose Almonte, former National Security Advisor. Sir, hinog ba ngayon kung kayo ang tatanungin sa assessment po ninyo? Ay itong mga panawagan ng resignation sa presidente, itong pag-usapin ng pag-aaklas, itong pagpasok na naman ng mga militar. What's your assessment, sir?
Well, hinog siguro, manibalang pa lang.
Manibalang ka lang. Medyo malapit sa pagkahinog yun, sir. Medyo malapit-lapit na yun.
Well, I say that because I think the president still has the capacity to reverse the situation if he wants to.
All right.
Because the problem really has not, my apologies to those who claim that the whole thing is about the chain of command violated, etc. I have another view. The whole thing is a moral crisis, you know. It's a crisis of leadership. And underpinning that is the moral capacity of the leader to accept responsibility. To me, that is the center of the whole problem.
So how can he reverse the situation? If you're
Very
saying that
simple.
Okay, please.
It is, confront the truth. Accept the truth and tell the truth. If he committed a mistake, tell the people he committed a mistake. That is how we can draw new strength for his moral capability.
What will happen? What do you think will happen if he's not going to do that?
Well, that is in line with your question. Baka pahinog ng pahinog ito.
Kasama ba kayo sa nagkakalburo nitong...
Hindi na hindi na ako kasali dyan.
Hindi. Pero kinukonsulta ba kayo? Meron bang mga bumibili ng kalburo sa inyo?
Well, I've been in this for a long time. It's like, sabi nga nila, between it's between a patient and a doctor. That's the relationship. So, I do not normally,
Okay. So, hindi kayo aamin sa akin ngayon na merong, dahil parang merong, kumbaga, client and attorney
parang ganun,
relationship.
Parang ganun.
So, but that's also the same as admitting it, di ba?
Okay ka tal.
Dahil kung wala, di nyo naman sasabihin nyo sa akin. Hindi
Okay. Kaya walang pikon.
But no, sir, ito po ngayong situation na ito, parang napipikon sa inyo si Gringo. Dahil parang gusto nyo lang daw makabenta ng libro, tinutweak ninyo yung katotohanan.
Well, hindi po yan totoo. Because in 2005, he wrote me a letter. And not just me, but all the other members of RAM. Unfortunately, I didn't bring the book. He said in that letter that if I can write down my participation in RAM.
Okay.
Now, I hope, Gringo, you are listening because this is your letter to me. It's in fact annexed in the book because I never wanted to write my participation in RAM.
All right.
Because from the beginning, it has been my sense that given my age over them, I'm 50 years ahead, I look at the whole spread of how, when they may be ready to take over. I computed, according to my arithmetic, that I'll be too old to assume any form of leadership. So my sense was just to help them look for people who I thought will have the character to lead the nation. It so happened that at that time, 30 years ago, when General Espina introduced them to me, or we were introduced to each other, I thought that they are the people who had the potential. Who had a character for the future. But over 30 years, it's them who will, you can only bring the horse to the water. It's they who will drink the water. Maybe that is too much for them to take because they are not horses, But what I'm trying to say is I help to the extent I can. And I never wanted to write that down or any other thing. But when I was asked to write it, I wrote the spirit of the times, the soul of the movement. And apparently, the two other authors of Gringo, hindi lang naman si Gringo nagpo-complain, may dalawa pa, but I don't want to mention their names here. Ang kanilang view is I was never with them, you know. I was just trying to insert myself, etc. Now, so this is the tragedy about the whole thing. In fact, if I may add, even this memoir that has been written by Marites, I never wanted to write that. And I would like the people to know that Marites has been looking for a picture with me, with them, or with any other during the 86 People Power Revolution. I don't have any picture they cannot find. Because I never wanted to be as popular as them. When I was promoted, the only question asked, Almonte who? So, I wonder what they are talking about. Kung bakit pumuputok ang mga butsin nila, you know? Hindi ko alam.
Kasi nga ho daw, isa dun sa sinasabi po nila, kagaya nung sinasabi daw ninyo na nagplano or one of the parang suggestions, kung baga, sa isang pagpaplano, parang to kill Marcos. At yun daw ay sinabi ninyo, na nagplot si Gringo.
Okay. May I ask them, who was RAM before 86? Kilala ba ang RAM before 86 Revolution?
Yes.
Makinig kayo sa akin po. Hindi. Okay. The 86 Power Revolution took place. What is the specific action in that movement that put Gringo or RAM in the pedestal? What? It is the action of RAM, the plan. It was never done, by the way. It was just a plan. It was a plan to attack the palace, and in the process, may kill Marcos and the family. That is what I have written in the book, in my book. That is what is written. Please, page 11. Please look at that.
And you did not say that the plot was to really kill, or the main intentions was to really kill Marcos?
Well, I will not say that, because that is at the center of the moral problem that I'd like to present, you know. Because, when it comes to the highest consideration, insofar as I'm concerned, where it is whether our race, our people, should prevail, should survive. To me, that is my highest consideration, you know. I subordinate everything to that, including my life and everything I have. Honor if I have one, you know. Insofar that is concerned, because life and death should not be determined by us. That has been my position. It should be determined by the people. So my position was, well, that was the plan. In fact, we vied for the honor to lead that action. I volunteered myself because I thought I was more experienced there than anybody. I worked with the Viet Congs for 3 years. So I thought I was experienced enough, and they were young. I want to save their lives for the future. I volunteered. To the credit of Gringo, he said, no, don't deprive us of the honor. To me, this is the key. Because he considered that action as honorable. And I agreed with him that at the moment it was the highest honor. If you deny that now, then you are denying that honor. Then my question is, who are you?
All right.
Correct? So that is why I said, after 30 years, the political landscape has changed. However that change is, should never be a reason to exchange dishonor for whatever political reasons there may be today.
But you even believe that he is capable of being the vice president of the country?
No, president, not vice president.
All right.
But initially, that was the opening that, at that time, I was in a position to suggest.
Okay.
And I suggested, and Speaker de Venecia, who was the candidate at that time, accepted it, accepted my recommendation. I looked for Gringo for 24 hours. I cannot locate him. Even the people closest to him don't know where he was.
But did he try to call you or to talk to you with regard to this book?
Well,
that you've written?
he talked to me last year, but I think September. That's the last time we talked personally. He went to the office. But we have a roundtable sponsored by the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung on this book, on this memoir, on the 25th this month, no? Next week.
Scheduled next week.
Scheduled next week at Raffles Hotel in Makati. I requested the host, Cass, to invite all of them, Gringo and the others, to join there so that I can explain to them what is this memoir, what is nation building, what is our role in it, at least from my point of view. And I would like to listen to their point of view, rather than talk about whether, I am ugly or handsome or what. Alam naman nila, I'm ugly. So,
But dito ho sa libro na ito, you've read it sa kabuuan kung paanong pagkaka-execute. Alin ho ang inaccurate dito? Kung meron man.
from my narration,
Yes.
there is nothing inaccurate about it. And I can defend every point that I have said in that book. I mean, my part in the People Power Revolution, that's the title of the book.
But the way
It's only 22 pages. I made it very short because I was only part of so many soldiers who participated. And I wanted them to express their own participation. That's why I made mine very short.
Yeah, but the way it was presented and it was edited, alin ho yung hindi nyo gusto dun sa libro nyo?
Which books is this?
Ito
We are
pong,
talking of two
ito pong
books.
bago, itong Endless Journey.
Wala akong,
Tama
all
ho
right.
ba lahat? Kasi syempre hindi kayo yung nag-edit, hindi kayo yung
Well, let me put it
latag.
this way,
Yes,
to the
please.
credit of the writer.
Yes, please.
And I understand them. As I said, the way I wrote in the book, to be very clear, is to attack the palace, and in the process, may kill Marcos and the family. And this attack is being led by Gringo. Okay, that's how it is written in the book. The way Marites wrote it is this, that this is, I hope I have the book, but it is written there, the way I recollect, is the plan of Gringo is to kill Marcos and family.
Yes.
All right. Maybe there is a difference on this.
Yes.
But the consequence is the same. You are not going to attack the palace by having coffee with the president, right? So when Marites wrote this, the way she wrote it in the book, from my point of view, the essence is the same.
Okay.
So I have no objection with it. Now, Gringo has his own objection. But it is not an objection that should claim that I'm a liar.
Yes, yes.
Because, look, I have always, shared with them the principle that at the cost of anything, we should always tell the truth. Now, I'm a liar is at the center of the whole philosophical underpinnings of our relationship.
So, ngayon ho, wala pang nangyayaring tawagan man lang sa inyo, even text message or what?
Wala, pero I invited them to the round table.
Yes. But do you know his number still?
I have their numbers, I have their emails. So we communicate, so we have no problem.
But he did not even try to communicate with you
As of now,
before.
no. Except, in fact, I sent my answer to them, to the Inquirer, about their so-called endless concoction. I replied, endless rancor. The Inquirer, up to now, refused to publish it. I do not know.
Kasi medyo mabigat yung binitawan ho niya na my own take is you don't have to lie or distort history to sell a book.
Here is my response.
Yes.
Please, let us never consider exchanging honor with political expediency.
So, ngayon ba, the way you look at it ho, ay merong hinahabol si Gringo kung bakit galit siya with what was written in the book?
I think Gringo should answer that.
Well, ngayon ho, nakikita ninyo yung situation at merong mga ugong at kumukonsulta din sa inyo. What would you advise the young soldiers and also those that are members of the RAM na maaaring hindi nyo pa nasabi sa kanila na pwede nyo sabihin sa amin in public?
Well, this has always been my sense in talking to them, especially insofar as this thing is concerned, that, because of the people power revolution, the constitution that we have today express that the military is the protector of the people and the protector of the people, defender of the state. And to me, that is a sacred undertaking. And at the center of it is the people. Now, the problem is, how do you read the people? This is really the challenge, Because to protect them, we must read their mind, their thinking. This is a challenge to us. Because if personal considerations come in terms of analyzing what is the sense of the people about the situation or about what they want to be, which should be our concern insofar as being effective protector of the people, to me that is the challenge.
Did the former President Ramos talk to you about this?
No. It's good that he hasn't talked to me about it because he has been through this kind of attack from Ram. President Ramos.
Yes.
He has been attacked worse than me. So he knows this. Now I'm under attack from them. President Ramos knows that. So he doesn't need to talk to me. I'm happy he has not talked to me.
You have achieved a lot of things already in life. And if I will be asking you now, what are other things that you have in mind that you want to fulfill?
I used to say, and I think I said it in my speech during the book launching, that if we can really work together and build a nation that can inspire every Filipino to live only when it is right to live, that is my prayer.
So ano po ang pwede ninyong gawin today that is still within your capacity para ma-inspire kami at ang buong sambayanan?
Well, this is what I'm trying to do, to be as frank, as candid, as honest as possible. That's why those like Gringo challenging my integrity as a liar, I am confronting him that he better look at that more seriously, and because I cannot take that.
If a Gringo will sit in front of you now, what would be the first thing that you will tell him?
Well, I'll ask him, what does he mean? What is his basis? Because, who knows the truth? Only God knows the truth, right? But at least our truth is something that we can discuss. So we have to rely on what happened, on action, on data, as he said. And because, look, if I may put something just to give flesh to this.
Please.
During the RAM, for instance, I was so proud of Gringo because I was asked by some Washington officials through the U.S. Embassy to arrange a meeting between Gringo, Red Kapunan, and Big Batak with the representative of President Reagan, si Congressman Jack Kemp, which I arranged. And they met. And Kemp asked him, President Reagan, because it's just they made a chance meeting because he was being guarded by General Baer. And he told, we met in passing beside the swimming pool in Manila Hotel. President Reagan asked me to tell you that we are ready to support you, si Gringo, yung movement, RAM. From combat planes, from combat boots to combat planes, something to that effect. This is an expression, by the way, that we will support you all the way. This is an American expression, and that is how I understood it. I was so proud. Gringo said, all we need is moral support. Although he said in the email of Marites to him about this issue, about this topic, he said his answer was not moral support. His answer was, we need your understanding. That's all we need. To me, there is no difference between the two. At that time, I was looking at Gringo. This guy, I said, has the character to be president. At that time, yeah. I believe that. Now, he can deny that if he wants to, but that is my view.
So ngayon ho ba, masasabi niyong nagkamali kayo?
What's that?
Looking from the hindsight, after everything has been said and done, maaari ba masabi niyo nagkamali kayo na noon ay that you were thinking that he can be a president?
Well, hindi pa naman tapos, sabi nila.
If you will be asked, ano ang inyong opinion? Dapat bang mag-resign si Presidente Aquino ngayon? O ipagpatuloy niya yung kanyang panunungkulan?
Okay, Katale. Just tell the truth before that. Just face the nation. This is what happened. These are the errors. This is my responsibility. I'm sorry. Then we will move on from that.
So you believe that he's not telling the truth?
I believe that.
And if he's not going to tell the truth...
I might be wrong, but I believe that.
But if you believe that he's not telling the truth, then would you also ask him to resign? Because that's what you believe.
No. The rectification I would recommend for not telling the truth is to tell the truth, not to resign. Tell the truth first. Now, if we cannot tell the truth, I would say let the people decide.
So this is something that you also believe might escalate.
It will escalate if the whole thing is not rectified.
And the rectification that you are awaiting is for him to tell the truth that he is liable?
Yeah, you know, I said this from the very beginning. I was interviewed on TV, I think 2 days after the Masasapano incident, very just after. And this is what I said. What I'm telling you now is what I said at the time. The mother of all this problem is the meeting on January 29 between the president.
January 9. You mean?
January 9.
Yes.
Between the president, Purisima, General Purisima, the Peñas, and Mendez. And they decided to do it themselves without informing or coordinating with the armed forces. And they said TOT, time on target. You know, you are not serving a warrant in a subdivision like in Pilam Life subdivision, you know. You are serving a warrant in a war zone, you know. So it's a totally different situation. You need a combined armed operations insofar as that is concerned. And in this kind of operation, this is a very well thought out planning in the military. And anything that you need is integrated in the plan, including extraction or whatever support you need, air or artillery or armor or sea support. All of these are integrated in the plan from the beginning because you cannot just do this time on target. It requires time to ensure that artillery does not fall on friendly forces or on civilians, that it falls on the target. It requires time to do that. This is an indirect weapon, you know. It's not a direct weapon where you fire on sight, you know. You do not see the target when you are firing the artillery.
But if you are the lawyer of the president or the legal advisor of the president, will you advise him to say something that would somehow incriminate him, or would it be better if he's just going to keep quiet about it and not to say anything anymore?
He cannot keep quiet because the action cost so many lives, 67 lives, Filipino lives. 44 South, 9 MILF, and 5 civilians. So you cannot just...
So, but what will be the consequence if in case he will say, I admit that there was something wrong, or I admit everything that you are accusing me of, and then he's going to be liable on that, isn't it?
the Filipino people is very forgiving. This is a political problem. Politics is beyond the courts, that. It's the Philippine people's jurisdiction. And we have seen in the past, historically, that they forgive leaders who are truthful.
Yeah, but you've heard how the Malacanang is positioning right now. And even after the result of the BOI came out, they've been defending, and they were like saying that the president did nothing wrong about it.
That is the trouble. That's the whole problem now, the cover-up. Watergate was one thing. But I think what brought down Nixon was the cover-up. So there's a lesson.
So now what you are really waiting for is the rectification of all of these things, and that is to say sorry.
Only because that is how to restore the character of the leadership. And I think the Filipino people would like to be led according to that kind of quality of leadership. This is not unique with us. This is a challenge that is posed to any leadership in the world.
Anong period ho ang tinitignan ninyo para masabi nating tapos na yung pag-iintay natin para sabihin o nabigyan na natin ng ample time ang presidente to rectify all of these things?
You have to look at this in a longer perspective. Something happened during the hostage rescue in Quirino Grandstand. We have seen the Atimonan massacre, military to police killing each other, some military special forces involved. We have seen the Albarca, yung Albarca sa Basilan is similar to this Masapano, serving warrant. It also cost the lives of, I think, 12 soldiers. Now, this is the worst one. It cost the lives of 44 soldiers and other Filipinos. And if you look at how this happened, it's really a reflection of the character of leadership. So I would say that in special operations like this, let us use the entire experience and skill of the armed forces and the police, which are there. Believe me, I have been there. They are very good in this. And they know how to do it. So let us not play soldier, let's give it to the professionals and be on top of it as the political leader. But the technical aspect of the operation, give it to the professionals.
Ano ho ang mga huling words of wisdom that you can give the Filipino people and the President sa panahon na ganito ang nagiging kalagayan niya? At you know very well that this is a very tight situation and this is a very problematic situation and that it needs to be faced ng isang matalinong pagpapasya.
Alam mo, I've been saying this repeatedly and I'll say it again. Let us inspire our people to live only when it is right to live, to die only when it is right to die. I hope Gringo hears me.
And sa near future na paghaharap ninyo ni Gringo, sa tingin ba ninyo, maayos naman ninyo yung inyong pag-uusap?
That's our two elements yan. So far as I'm concerned, I have no problem because I'm not working for myself. I am trying to work on behalf of what is best for the nation. So I have no personal investment in it. I don't intend to be a senator, to be a president, or to be popular. That's not my aim. My aim is just to help the people Even if I can only serve coffee to anybody, including them, that's written in the book.
So ngayon ho ba, merong nasa gobyernong humihingi ng tulong niyo?
Marami akong kausap, pero as I told you, I would not rather talk about it.
Yes, but with regard to yun hong side ng administration ngayon, meron ho bang, wala bang nagko-convince sa inyo na maging one of the advisors?
Hindi. And I will not want because to me, for an advisor to be effective, must be accepted by the one being advised as having a common idea on how to elevate the people's condition. Without that convergence, the advisor will never be effective.
Have you talked to General Pio Katapang?
No, he just, we met during the book launching, he just smiled at me.
Do you know him personally?
I
Hindi
know
po.
him personally.
Ah, you know
He's a
him
good
personally,
man.
okay. So, magkaibigan din po kayo?
You know, I am friends to everybody, so that's what I would like to think.
Okay. Sir, thank you very much. If there are things that you would like to leave our audience today, ano ho ang gusto niyong iwanan sa ating mga tagapanood?
Sabi mo nga, walang pikonan.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much for the time that you have given us. Former National Security Advisor, Retired General Jose Almonte. Dito lamang po sa programang Bawal ang Pikon. Get it straight with Daniel Razon.